Question. A meeting app must convert recorded audio into a text transcript before summarizing it. Which model type performs the first step? A. A speech-to-text transcription model. B. A chat completion model. C. An embedding model. D. An image generation model. Pause the video if you don't want the answer yet. Correct answer, A. A speech-to-text transcription model. Why A is correct? The workflow is plain text, recorded meeting audio, speech-to-text model, transcript, summarization model, meeting summary. The first step is converting audio into text, which is the job of a speech-to-text transcription model, such as Azure AI, speech whisper style transcription models. The models are designed to convert spoken language into text, handle recorded meetings and calls, produce transcripts for downstream processing, enable summarization, search, and analytics. Question. An enterprise wants generated answers to avoid a specific list of competitive brand names without rewriting every prompt by lowering the probability those exact tokens are chosen. Which mechanism applies at inference time? A. A stop sequence. B. A higher temperature. C. Response format JSON schema. D. Logit bias under offending tokens. Pause the video if you don't want the answer yet. Correct answer, D. Logit bias under offending tokens. Why D is correct? The requirement is avoid specific competitive brand names, no prompt changes required, reduce the probability of exact tokens being generated, apply at inference time. Logit bias is specifically designed to modify token selection probabilities during generation. Question. An assistant must let the model decide when to look up a live order status by invoking a backend routine, then continue the reply using the returned data. Which capability enables the model to request that the app run a specific routine with structured arguments? A. Structured outputs with a JSON schema. B. Retrieval augmented generation over a search index. C. Streaming token responses. D. Function tool calling with defined tool schemas. Pause the video if you don't want the answer yet. Correct answer, D. Function tool calling with defined tool schemas. Why D is correct? The scenario requires the model decides when to get live order data, the model requests a backend routine, structured arguments are passed to that routine, the application executes the routine, the model continues its response using the returned results. This is exactly how function calling, tool calling works. Question. A developer wants to force the model on this particular request to always call the create ticket routine rather than answering directly or picking another tool. Which setting achieves this? A. Remove all other tools from the request. B. Set tool choice to require that specific function. C. Raise temperature to 1.0. D. Add the instruction only to a user message. Pause the video if you don't want the answer yet. Correct answer, B. Set tool choice to require that specific function. Why B is correct? Always call create ticket. Do not answer directly. Do not choose another tool. Enforce this behavior for a specific request. The tool choice parameter allows you to control tool calling behavior. By specifying the create ticket function, you force the model to call that tool instead of deciding for itself. Question. A weather assistant frequently needs to fetch data for several cities mentioned in one user turn. Which feature lets the model request multiple independent tool invocations in a single response? A. Parallel tool calls. B. Structured outputs. C. Streaming. D. Provisioned throughput. Pause the video if you don't want the answer yet. Correct answer. A. Parallel tool calls. Why A is correct. The scenario requires multiple cities in one user request, several independent weather lookups, one model response can request them together, better efficiency and lower latency. Parallel tool calls allow the model to request multiple function tool invocations in a single response. Question. After the application executes a requested routine, how must the result be supplied so the model can incorporate it into the final answer? A. As a new system message describing the result. B. By restarting the thread with the data prepended. C. As a tool role message referencing the tool call ID. D. By setting response format to JSON object. Pause the video if you don't want the answer yet. Correct answer. C. As a tool role message referencing the tool call ID. Why C is correct. In the function tool calling workflow, user sends a request. Model decides to call a tool. Application executes the tool function. Application returns the tool result back to the model. Model uses that result to generate the final answer. The tool output is returned as a tool role message associated with the original tool call ID, so the model knows which tool invocation the result belongs to. Question. A tool keeps being called with malformed arguments because the model guesses field names. What most reliably constrains the arguments the model produces? A. Lowering temperature only. B. Increasing max completion tokens. C. A precise JSON schema in the function's parameters definition. D. Adding the schema to a user message as text. Pause the video if you don't want the answer yet. Correct answer. C. A precise JSON schema in the function's parameters definition. Why C is correct. The problem is the model is calling the tool, arguments are malformed, the model is inventing or guessing field names. The most reliable solution is to define the tool's parameters using a precise JSON schema. Question. An agent must expose an existing internal microservices operations as callable actions without writing wrapper functions for each endpoint. Which tool type lets the agent call the service directly from its API description? A. Grounding with Bing search tool. B. An open API specified tool. C. File search tool. D. Code interpreter tool. Pause the video if you don't want the answer yet. Correct answer. B. An open API specified tool. Why B is correct. The scenario says, existing internal microservice has an API description. Expose operations as callable agent actions. Avoid writing custom wrapper functions for every endpoint. An open API specified tool allows the agent to understand and call API operations directly from the service's open API Swagger specification. Question. A finance agent must run arbitrary ad hoc Python to compute statistics over uploaded CSVs and return charts. Which built-in agent tool provides a sandbox runtime for this? A. Function calling. B. Grounding with Bing search. C. Open API tool. D. Code interpreter. Pause the video if you don't want the answer yet. Correct answer. D. Code interpreter. Why D is correct. The requirements are run arbitrary Python code, analyze uploaded CSV files, compute statistics, generate charts, visualizations, execute in a sandboxed environment. The code interpreter tool is specifically designed for these tasks. Question. A schema for a tool defines an enum of allowed status values. What is the primary benefit of encoding this constraint in the tool definition rather than in the prompt? A. It forces streaming of the arguments. B. It makes the model's argument values conform to the allowed set more reliably. C. It reduces token cost of the system prompt only. D. It disables the content filter for that field. Pause the video if you don't want the answer yet. Correct answer, B. It makes the model's argument values conform to the allowed set more reliably. Why B is correct. An enum in a tool's JSON schema explicitly restricts a parameter to a predefined list of valid values. If this was successful, please like and subscribe so that you get notified when I've released new questions.